Welcome to Day 1 of Mario Strikers Battle League, and the glorious return of Mario Strikers after 15 years off, I believe, since Mario Strikers charged on the Wii back in 2007. Let's get going. Now, as I understand it, Nintendo is having some online issues today, but regardless, we're going to get straight into some of the solo content and taking a look at the Cup Battles, which is the double elimination tournament mode. As you can see, we have 5 starting cups, one of each attribute that they specialize in, depending on what is it, shooting, passing, speed, strength, and technique. So it looks like some of the opponent teams will be customized accordingly before we unlock the final cup, which I assume from past experience is probably going to be the Striker Cup or some such thing. I understand that there will be additional difficulties as well, from what I've been told, but we'll see how we do with the standard one first, in a sort of gearless setting. We have some cash on hand, you'll notice already, just from playing the game a little bit and trying out the tutorial maps. We're going to switch it to, auto navigation, because that automatically switches characters depending on proximity and possession, I believe. And let's assemble some kind of team. You know what? We'll just go all random for the first run, just to see how it goes. And we're going to have some of the slow heavies up front. Actually, this is going to be a fairly slow team by the looks of it. Sure, we'll be magicians. In hot pink. Home stadium, let's say we'll match it up to the Royal Castle. Okay. Going to be a 4-team bracket, but we are going to be matched up against the Wings. Let's see how it goes. And it looks like the opposition here is going to be somewhat speedier, but we'll see how it goes. We'll sit through some of the animations instead of skipping them. I mean, obviously, as we go along with the game, we'll just get into the habit of skipping a lot of repeated sequences eventually, so for the time being, since it is day 1 of this experience, we may as well watch what we can. Of course, eventually I probably will get into the habit of just clicking through anyhow, but for the moment, Bowser's going to take the lead. Anyway, just going to run into him right away, and let's try to pot this one in. Whoops. Oh. Speed disadvantage already kind of showing itself. Just got to get warmed up a little here with some of these combo shots. Yeah, it's probably too long of range, but no, that's okay. That'll make it in. And we'll watch Mario do some of his standard cartwheel sequences. Pretty simple here, just a shot from quite a distance. Okay, as you'll notice, the team with a goal disadvantage is going to start off with an item right away. We'll try to chain things in somehow, and they're going to expend a shell right away. Oh. Well, that was unfortunate. I just completely missed a tackle. We'll in fact see it in the replay sequence that Mario's going to come in with a slide and is just going to exhaust himself by being completely off target. That's okay, we're practicing, we're warming up. We'll try not to cause too much embarrassment here as we... Okay. Yeah, this thing, it is a bit of a risk to get into a tackle here. Oh, a little bit off on that curve. Donkey Kong's going to get into a pretty decent position. And and let's see him do a little jungle dance. Picking that up and slapping it in. I mean, I suppose his arms also count as legs, being an ape. No, actually they're bipedal creatures, I guess. They're just going to be arms either way. Now, we do need to deny the Hyper Strike. If I can zone out the opposition with some items, I would, of course, like to do so, but nope, we'll just get this instead. Okay, orange. That's certainly not going to be guaranteed, so we need to get position for a potential rebound. We need to hit the blue zone in both cases. Now, I do like that little banana blast he's got going on. Okay, let's be ready to catch this. We'll pop that in. Yeah, the trick to the Hyper Strike is that you shouldn't sit idly by. You should move a character into position while the animation is going on. I'm sure eventually we'll get a sense of some of the unique Hyper Strike effects. They seem to be one of the few things mechanically differentiating the characters in this version of Mario Strikers. Okay, we've got a shell on our side in case we need to do some zoning later on. Whoops. Like that. We'll pot that high. That's going to be off. Nope. Probably not the best use of that shell, but we're getting here, and then I'm going to lose the race over there. I have not really been using the dash ability often enough, I think. That's going to be way off target. Okay. Need to just survive the timer here. Anyway, this should be nice and clear. Anyway, they do seem to have multiple celebration animations per character. So it's not just going to be repeated, which is good to know because we are sticking through what we can. As Donkey Kong once again slaps one in. I mean, this is the first round of the bracket. We should actually be walking over the opposition, otherwise it won't be too good a sign for things to come. Pretty good offensive strength over here to match the opposition. At some point we'll need to expend that banana to obstruct. Standing a little bit close here, but nope, that's okay. Managed to get that before Peach managed to get back on her feet. So we're doing alright. At least so far, especially with just the first match in a new game. We did get a decent amount of practice, of course, in the online demo that was released last week. Okay. Clear shot once again. That's going to be orange and orange, unfortunately. Donkey Kong with a fairly low technique stat, I guess, just not giving me much of a blue zone to work with. He is, however, going to slap that in. Or at least, we'll see how close it gets. And yeah, that's going to push through, and that's going to be 8-1. Now, I wasn't really even paying attention to the clock. I thought this was on a standard 4-minute match clock. I did go through some of the customization options when I started the game, and yeah, it's 4-minute clock here. That's standard from what I remember from the demo. But when you set up custom matches, it can go up to 10 minutes if you want more of a grueling experience of attrition. Anyway, let's see if I can combo that. Nope. Just gonna move him slightly out of position. Okay. And then, whoop, trying to deny that and maybe went for that a little bit aggressively. We're not going to have much time to use it anyway, so. Alright. Probably shouldn't have just stood there. Might want to make use of the mushroom to get in position. Okay. 5 seconds, yeah, this should be a fairly easy one to put away. Okay, pretty big start. You have to wonder what changes in the hard modes with these respective versions. Maybe the stats rather are stacked a bit higher with gear, or perhaps there are some changes to the AI, which I would expect. But anyway, yeah, just a lot more going on in terms of control. If you look at the tackle and pass statistics on my end. Interestingly enough, that only got me up to 50% possession. Don't have a good idea how they're calculated, of course. Interestingly enough, if you look at some of the opposition team names and logos, they look like they're not available to me in my selection, so I wonder if any of them would be unlockable at a later point, or if they're always just going to be assigned to CPU opponents instead. We are, however, going to face off against the Scramblers in our second match of 4. So 4-match cups should be a fairly quick experience, given that the matches are just 4 minutes apiece. Even accounting for some of the cutscene padding, which puts them at maybe about double. So yeah, pretty quick and simple to sit through 1 cup at a time, perhaps, unless the final Strikers Cup bracket is a lengthier experience. I seem to recall the cups in Mario Strikers Charge being fewer number, just 3 cups, but much longer experiences apiece, with, of course, a lot of variation in things like the stage design. We are now going to be facing off against a geared team, though, so. Now, the gear statistics changes are 0 sum, at least from the ones that I've seen in the menu that are available to me. I don't know if that would change for any of the CPU opponents at a later stage. But the fact that they are 0 sum means that we don't need to worry too much about balance, perhaps. Let's see if we can pot that in. Nope, not quite. Okay. Going to have a bomb available. Oh, no, shouldn't have tossed that. I was hoping to save it. Nope. Okay. That's a dangerous place to be in. Yeah, I know. I didn't manage to switch to Bowser in time to intercept that. And this Silver Yoshi here is going to move in and do that. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to, against this opposition, or recognize some of the gear pieces by sight to kind of mentally get a sense of what opposition stats we're dealing with. I think that is the case. We just need to be able to read them. This being the Cannon Cup, where everything is just balanced towards the shooting statistic. All of the gear should be from the Cannon gear set. It's just that we don't know which stats they're subtracting. Or maybe we do, because the stat that is being subtracted is dependent on the body part towards which the attire is assigned. So the fact that, you know, Bowser's wearing gloves here does matter a bit in terms of understanding what has been subtracted on his side. And that's something that we could perhaps exploit with our team composition. Anyway, Mario with a pretty decent technique stat is going to put in fairly easily to put me 2 ahead. I'm glad I did manage to race for that glowing strike ball just now. Very important that I did so. As you can see, all of the Yoshis are just going to stand there, so definitely the AI is taking it easy on me in terms of playing very aggressively to intercept the ball. You can watch it right here, like all the Yoshis just basically stand still while I take the shot. So, once again, early in the bracket, we're just almost certainly facing an easy AI here. Okay. Then... oh, good dodge there. And unfortunately, that one's going to cost me. As you can see here, just a little late in that tackle. Probably should have dashed in towards it. No. Okay. And we'll just pot one in directly with Donkey Kong. Once again, Donkey Kong really showing off that shooting statistic, but of course it helps that the AI is not really making any moves towards me. If you watch those Yoshis that are just standing still in position, I would expect that to change to something quite a lot more interventionist as we move up to the eventual hard cups, or even against later opponents in the current bracket that we're in. Oh. Okay. And, oh, just gonna have a little bit of slippage over here. Probably shouldn't be giving away so many items like that with all these fouls. But... okay, we need to go for the strike ball for sure. But that's okay, we'll just score instead. Yeah, sometimes it's easy to get into the habit of being a bit spammy with the character swaps. Bowser is going to be perfectly in position to catch that. And yeah, that's the main difference that we're seeing here. It's just that in this difficulty, not much going on from the opposition in terms of taking possession away from me and trying to intercept. And once again, Donkey Kong's just going to slap that one in. And yeah, I can just take things away immediately. Oh, whoops, trying to use the banana there to slip up my opponent, but they did manage to activate a star, and so, unfortunately, not much I can do against that invulnerability, but we can try to combo a shot in once again. Oh, didn't manage to get a full charge there. And also fouled Bowser to no real effect. Okay, nope, failed to get that going. Okay, didn't really aim those shots well on the rebound, unfortunately. Okay, let's grab the item box first and then try to get in position here just to see if we can make anything happen. And yeah, it's going to be right off the glove. And Bowser is apparently cooking. Alright, shouldn't be having too much trouble then. once again, just going to try to switch to the correct character in time to get these special shots down, and that's going to be an additional 2, which will get me up to 10. By the end of this, it will be unblockable. Very energetic slap down here, and that is going to put Boom Boom into a bit of a spin. Now we do have to watch out for bombs on the opponent's side. Carrying a full load here. Yeah, interestingly enough, you can deny item boxes even if you're already full up. So if you're holding 2, you can still grab an item box, the rainbow colored ones that are neutral to both teams. And yeah, once again, he's just going to let me shoot, which is not something I expect to happen later. And we're going to squander this opportunity, but remaining in the orange zone. Will probably not do much for me, but let's get into the rebound zone anyway. And see if we can make anything happen. And, oh, no time for that. We don't need it. We're just going to Bowser get a celebration in. That's just going to light Boom Boom on fire. And yeah, once again, if you look at the tackle statistic and the pass statistic, just not much going on from the opposition in terms of trying to steal opportunities away from me, so that time we got up to about 60% possession, and I think the scoreline more than reflected that. Some pretty high randomized numbers from the AI versus AI matches here. As you can see, we're just going to have a rematch against the same squad. Bowser and 3 Yoshis. I really don't foresee this being an issue. And since we are in the winner's bracket, this might even be enough to just take the cup, if I understand it, since it is just a 4-team affair. Yes, because if I understand this, with double elimination, it's only if I lose this match that I need to replay it, so we're going to be through this really quickly. It seems like these cups are really designed to be playable in a single quick session. I would assume that the final cup that you unlock is going to be balanced across all of the different statistical vectors, and that once you unlock it, there's not really going to be much of a reason to replay these early ones that are locked to single stats. Well, that's a bad start. Okay, so these guys are going to toughen up a little bit, by the looks of it. Alright, let's not get complacent then, because it's the same team, but certainly not perhaps the same AI difficulty. I wouldn't expect it to be so. On the other hand, he's just going to stand still again and let me in. Okay. And then. Okay. Whoa, I thought that was my Bowser for a moment. That was unwise. Ooh, 2 down. Alright, let's not take it so easy. I mean, we did dominate this team composition previously, but we shouldn't be relying on that anymore, especially when who knows how the RNG might also be weighted in your favor as you go along. Okay, we'll just dodge and get in. And yeah, Rosalina is just going to walk in there with the aid of the items that we were stashing just as a comeback mechanic. over on my end of the pitch. So once again, pretty clear shot. Not really any kind of defensive move from the Bowser that was in that position. Nobody there to catch the rebound, unfortunately. Nope. We'll run up ahead. Okay. Definitely want to grab that. Alright, orange-blue, not going to be perfect, but we'll see how close we get. Should at least open some kind of scoring chance, so let's get in position once again with a rebound. We'll bring Mario in, just in case. Try to catch it. And no, it's going to go in anyway, so no problem here as we take the lead, turn the tide. And yeah, as you can see, we'll just see the replay as where Boom Boom just gets pushed in and sure, we'll just try to pop this in again. Whoops, nope, this can be intercepted. Seems like the rebounds are treated like lob passes, basically. Lob passes that are neutral to either side, mechanically. Thought that was going to be a little bit on the outside, but nope. Bowser manages to curve it in and hit the post. And will you look at that? Actually came in off the crossbar. With that we get a... oh no, off Boom Boom and off the post. That's how we made it happen. Okay. Okay, let's take possession once again with Rosalina. Charge in. Nicely positioned there with Boom Boom well out of the way. That's how to do it. Yeah, as you can see it, Donkey Kong is just maneuvering Boom Boom all the way to the right of the goal. Anyway, we now have an advantage, as well as some items to work with on either side. We might as well just run up the score. So, given the current difficulty that we're faced with, I think as we go through the other stat-specific introductory cups, we'll just stay with random teams that are gearless. And that's just how we'll play the game, just to kind of experience it without too much decision-making. Perhaps there'll be some more strategy involved once we get into... oh. Nope, managed to miss that. Once we get into the advanced cups and difficulties. Oh, trying to pass that out and didn't manage to do it in time. Anyway, just needed to survive the Hyper Strike timer here. Let's get out of the way of that shell. Yeah, the Yoshis are really not doing much from here. Okay, trying to chain that pass, and we were just a little off in terms of the timing. And yeah, with a good shooter like Donkey Kong standing that close, that was going to be pretty easily punted in. And we're going to run away with this one once again, despite a really bad start, going out of a 2-0 deficit at the very beginning of the match. It's been very smooth sailing ever since. Anyway, whoa. Oh, they've got an invincibility star on that end, and you need to watch out for that. Oh, almost managed to get that in, but unfortunately that was squandered. I thought I had plenty of time to work with, but that was not the case. But we just have a very offensively capable team if you look at it. All of these characters, Mario, Rosalina, Donkey Kong, and Bowser. Pretty good shooters all around, so maybe with a different random draw we would not have been so successful in running up the score every time. But just continue doing random selections and seeing what happens. In a way, just gonna run through this pretty cleanly by the looks of it. No real issues here. But yeah, I'm sure things will get a lot more involved once we get into the later stages of the game. Oh, hey, I actually managed to get a team tackle down at solo, which is not something you see every day. Not really going to make it over to the Hyper Strike Ball, I don't think. Yeah, I was prioritizing denying the Hyper Strike Ball over everything else just because we're ahead by enough that is perhaps the way we should be thinking. Yeah, Yoshi's just practically going to ignore me there. And we'll see if this makes it in under the buzzer. Maybe, and maybe not. Anyway. Oh, surprisingly, not managed to get anything in here. And another Hyper Strike Ball coming in at the close of the game. Whoop. Oh, no, that was way off. Trying to get that in under the clock. It's actually literally 0 on the clock. I do not believe this will make it in as orange and black. It's going to have a really low percentage of success, but you never know. Yeah, no way. So, narrowly missed opportunity to take that up to 11 at the very end, but we'll take it. No complaints, just too bad about the 2 that we let in very early on. And we're taking home the trophy, apparently. And yeah, double elimination just takes you through 3 victories out of a possible 4 rounds. And so, okay, that's going to be fairly simple then. And then that was it. So, interestingly enough, the music cue for the trophy there does emulate the original Mario Kart trophy music. It does emulate that melody, so it's 400 for the first completion, 50 for the second completion, which is really not much to work with. That's half a gear piece. Certainly not worth it, I think. These are simple enough that I'm pretty sure we'll just whip through them all today and then see what we unlock from there. So once again, it does seem like you can play these cups multiplayer locally. We're going to go all random once again, though. And sure, we'll just stay on Magicians. Stay on a hot pink, but we'll change over to Spooky Mansion this time, since we have Luigi bringing up to where. And Scramblers, Bolts, and Pipes this time with a chain cup. Let's see how it goes. Now, given that these are specialists in a passing statistic, perhaps we'll actually see some passing from the AI this time. Whereas previously, that was not so much the case. Anyway, let's warp in. Once again, we have Bowser assuming the captaincy. because that's what he does. Alright, there we go. And, oh, a little out of position there. Standing a bit close. We'll see if Waluigi can have any luck here, and he does, so we'll see his animation for the first time. And yeah, pretty simple here. Alright, let's move on. I'm going to move in and basically tackle these right away off the start, except now they're finally doing some passing, which is important. Luigi getting off to a pretty good start here if you take a look at the rebound. Looking very dynamic. Anyway. Whoops, got intercepted here. Oh, that's going to be caught. Sure, I might as well charge another shot here. Oh, missing twice. Bit of an unintentional team tackle. And, oh. Finally some interception going on, though. Let's try to go for the orb, and I'm going to miss. At least get there a little bit slowly. Alright, we just need to deny the ball as well as we can until the timer runs out. Oh. I think we had a bit of a chance there. And didn't want to get too close to the fence there, but maybe we were a little shy of that position. And Bowser's going to show off another good stomping. Nice little tail whip there, in fact. Like there's so much variety to shot animations, depending on how you're positioned. Nope, a little bit slow on the shot there. Shouldn't have bothered charging, as Waluigi should have just taken it. Oh. Okay, nearly got into some trouble here. Oh, should have canceled out of that. That's okay. And yeah, if you fail to Hyper Strike, it does get expended, but luckily we were in a good position to continue that maneuver. And yeah, occasionally we'll see these signs of disappointment from the losing side as well. If you look at poor Yoshi, just weeping on the grass, as Yoshi does. And oh, Waluigi maybe a little bit asleep at it. Lower corner there. Nope, that was not going to do it. Oh, Toad is going for the interception once again. Anyway. Move some of these guys out of the way with a bomb, and it's going to prove to be pretty good here as we get Luigi to bring up the rear with an additional 2 to put me up to 6. So yeah, not too concerned about this difficulty level so far, as everything is going to be a bit of a rout. We are finally seeing some interceptions though, so... That's assuming, of course, that the 5 initial cups just kind of have a flat difficulty. It may not be the case once we proceed down the list. But who knows? Alright. Oh, trying to intercept here, and need a little bit of practice with those moves. Okay. That's not going to be anywhere close to in. Anyway, got zoned out there again. Gonna get the strike ball there. Let's see if we can maintain the shutout. Nope. Didn't manage to swap over to my other defender in time. And yeah, just really not getting the job done as Luigi up top. Oh, so much for the shadow. We are, however, going to maintain this Hyper Strike meter. So I think maybe vacating the defense and going for the strike ball the way I did and prioritizing that actually is going to come out ahead, because we'll get 2 goals in for that one. And look at that, it's going to bind up Boom Boom completely. Even with his hands tied, very reminiscent of Luigi's special move back in Mario Strikers Charge, when he would just run thorns all over the pitch, as you see here. Oh. Let's see if we can pop one in. Oh no. Fairly close, but unfortunately not quite what I needed. Pretty good carve there, but that's okay. We'll take the overwhelming victory. Anyway, as well, just in the highlight, you can see, as you can see, the passing statistic goes way up against this kind of opposition. They're taking 36 passes, more than my side this time, and keeping possession a good chunk of the time. Of course, we're just going to run them over, and we'll just let the bracket play itself out as we head into the next match against the Bolts. Alright, let's see how we're doing. Now we're finally going to get a matched stadium here, which is also going to give us the corresponding music, I believe. So we'll hear a bit of Luigi's Mansion here in Luigi's Mansion. Appropriately so, given that Next Level Games, developer of Mario Strikers series, is also in charge of the Luigi's Mansion series, or the last 2 entries. Anyway, I was just going to boot that one in. Then, sure. Nope, not quite. Oh, we are going to intercept that, though. Okay, we need to get into the habit of intercepting some of these lob passes. They are becoming a problem for me. Okay. No, that was a bit of a long shot there. Not likely to be so successful. However, that's going to do quite a great deal better with Boom Boom coming out towards the corner of the box. Yeah, as you can see, he's moved way out by that point. Giving Luigi and rather Waluigi an ample opportunity to pot that in. Oh. No cheap shots from me over here, unfortunately. Okay, a wide open position. It's going to be another 2. So yeah, if all goes well, we should just be done with these initial normal mode AI cups in no time. They're really not putting up much of a fight. This one is putting up more of a fight than the last one, just from some of the issues with possession. We do need to learn how to intercept some of these passes eventually, but for now, we'll just continue booting in everything we can. This Bowser displays a bit of a show of strength here. Anyway, we've got one red shell in tow if we needed to mete out any additional punishment, as we did here. And that puts us up by 6. We've got a lot of time left on the clock, in fact. This could be pretty brutal for the other team here as we just go shot after shot. We'll just do the same thing. Bowser goes for a tackle and Bowser goes for the shot. Let's see if Rosie's going to get anything here. Well, a little bit slow on the rebounds, unfortunately, and on the item boxes. Nice dodge from Yoshi. Won't be good enough, though. Okay. Just need to switch to the correct character here. Let's run it over. Once again, a wide open position. Blue and blue. That's another 2. And we're only halfway down the clock. We've got 2 minutes remaining to really turn this into an exercise in humiliation. I was going to run around and collect some item boxes there, but not in a great position to do it, so. Alright, up by 9. Yeah, at this point, as long as we retain some modicum of control, it's just a matter of, target practice. And probably, not even target practice necessarily, but practicing the interceptions, I think, is the most important thing right now, in case we need the skill set for later. Oh, was trying to dodge there, but that shell was going to get in the way. That's a free pass into the corner. Anyway, let's duck around to pick up that item. Oh, was hoping to grab the orb, but no such luck. Alright, priority now is to deny the shot. And then It should expire fairly soon, judging by the sound effect. Whoops. Okay, missing a couple of tackles here. That's not good. And unfortunately, we were always a little bit behind on the character swapping. So there goes the Shadow. Relinquishing that a little bit late. Well, we'll let the Toads have their little Brazil 2014 moment, as it were. Okay, we'll curve around there. Oh, no, missed that. Unfortunately, the red shell does track you all the way, even if you do try to use the mushroom to avoid it somehow, so... Nope, gonna be a little bit late on tackle, and we're going to be down by another 2, probably. Now, you do have to spam a defensive button when you're playing multiplayer. I don't know if that's going to be the case here as we do this. Yeah, we do. Have to spam it all the way out. The meter seems to give me a little bit more resistance, probably because we're no longer playing 2v2. Actually, I didn't even realize I had a Hyper Strike on my side there, but looks like one of my CPU-controlled teammates just ran over the orb, so... 4 seconds on the clock. Let's see if Waluigi manages to pot this in. That's okay. It's still going to be an overwhelming victory. Not so overwhelming in the second half of that as in the first, but we'll take it. And it'll be just one more victory to go for the second of the 5 initial cups. Good practice, anyhow. Yeah, as you can see, still kind of at a disadvantage for possession, but we're not letting them get too many shots down, at least. Could be doing a lot better with interceptions once again, but I'm sure we'll be tested on that a little bit further as we have our next match, which will be against the Pipes. So let's see how we do. Anyway, we'll just watch the introduction once again as we see how Peach is going to enter with her crown above her helmet, which is certainly one way to affix something heavy. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be giving away an item right away. Oh, okay. Awful start, once again. Yeah, the problem with going for the tackle right off the bat is that I do that with the expectation that my opponent will get to the ball first, and if you do that, you do give them an item advantage right off the start. And that wasn't even the problem there, the problem was just losing possession immediately. Okay. Not much going on defensively from them, at least. Oh, whoops. Once again, pretty good interception on their end. Going to go for a bit of a lop shot there, but that was not going to happen. Whoop. Yeah, that was kind of a not entirely intentional team tackle, but I'll take it. Okay. Let's clear some space. Oh, still not going to get that in. And once once again. It's going to clear some space. Might as well grab that. Fortunately, expended a couple of the items that I can use for positional control. Not quite a blue on blue, but we'll see what this gets me. Anyway, Rosalina is going to quite literally send that into orbit. We'll see if this does anything for me. Let's get her as a shooter onto rebound. That's okay, we won't need it. Alright, back in the lead. Okay. Let's see if we can do some rapid passing here. Oh, nice dodge. I still haven't been using the dodge very effectively on my side. That's something that we knowingly have needed to work on even since the demo. It's okay, a couple of stuns there on Boom Boom. That's going to get me through to 3. You'll notice that Rosalina doesn't tend to run over the pitch so much as float. She uses her powers sparingly. Double banana on the other side. Let's not miss so many tackles. Okay. Not a very good combo there. Let's go for the Hyper Strike Ball, and I'm going to miss that, unfortunately. Alright, let's try to deny possession. Oh, not a good example of how to do that, unfortunately. Somewhat better example of how to do that. Okay. Thankfully. Not giving him time to get the Hyper Strike off. Yeah, when Boom Boom is down like that, you kind of have to lean into a grounded shot just to have that top spin and high velocity. I was trying to find a use case for that low grounded forward shot there, and that's precisely what it is, just off the rebound. When you can get something straight in without much obstruction. Oh, gradually just kind of picking up what you can do with the controls. There's a lot of really quite excellent and versatile ball control that you can do in this game from what we've seen so far. Okay. Oh, gonna get the Hyper Ball, but not much use if I can't make some space. Oh, bit of an item duel there. That'll give me 2 though. And unlockable, that's going to take me up to 6. Really just not worried about this. Of course, we've been doing pretty well with the random draws in terms of team composition, perhaps. Nice shooting statistics. Not liking that star here. That's causing me a few problems. Okay. Nice low shot there is going to put me up to 7. Anyway, we've seen so many goal celebrations at this point. Oh, not expecting that. Now, oh, gonna lose control of the strike ball here as well. Okay. Up. Good move from that Yoshi to go for proximity with that red shell. Okay. Rosie's going for another one. Whoop. Okay. Kind of a near-miss situation here with everything going on. Not really in position to get Hyper Strike, but I should have used the items at the last minute there just to clear some space. Regardless, we're going to take it. And we'll have Captain Bowser do his little celebration once again. And that's going to be another trophy. Yeah, once again, just kind of outpossessed, but in the end, that's not going to matter too much when we're getting the shots off. That's it for the Chain Cup. Yeah, there's that Mario Kart trophy theme that you hear there, once again. Alright, let's do some more. We can probably get through all 5 in very short order. Same idea. All random, no gear. Do we want to change things up, or do we want to stay with Lucky Pink? Let's stay with Lucky Pink. We're working some magic after all. This time around, though, we are going to take ourselves over to Jungle Retreat. We are having Captain Bowser once again, by the looks of it. What cup even is this? I wasn't even paying attention. Oh, Turbo Cup. Yeah, okay. We have a couple of slow characters against speedy teams. This will be interesting. We better work on those tackles, perhaps. Let's go Jungle. This may not be a very good team composition for our purposes, but we'll see. We've been doing alright so far, so... It's just that we have decided to draw a bunch of slowpokes against this bracket, and that may not be the wisest decision. Not that it was a decision, given that we were just going all random. Anyway, Bowser takes the lead once again. I don't think we've seen much of Wario's animation so far, so we'll watch his. We'll probably skip some of the other ones, though. Oh, not switching to Bowser in time here. Okay. Okay. Toad's just gonna stand there and let me do it. Okay, that's fine. I mean, what's the point of the speedy characters if you're not going to get them in a position to obstruct anything? As you can see, Toad's just gonna budge up against me and not make any kind of impact whatsoever. Might be that weight disadvantage too. You can see Toad going for the tackle on Donkey Kong there. And just not making an impact. Nope. Okay. Nope. Not quite in position. Yeah, the long tackle is helping me quite a bit here. But perhaps I spoke too soon. Anyway, trying to chain that again. And we should have actually aimed some of those shots on the rebounds, perhaps, but go for Strike Ball. Now, having Banana available is going to be helpful here in terms of getting myself in position to, once again, miss the blue and blue. Should have passed it on to Peach, perhaps. To maximize chances of a perfect shot. That's going to be in. Still no real issues here, but we are going to get a very good view of Boom Boom getting toasted. Yeah, having Bowser with that high strength statistic up front is allowing me to basically take possession on every draw, and that's every kickoff, really. That's been extremely helpful as we whip through the bracket some more.
Mamma mia!
Yeah, Wario, like Donkey Kong, is certainly not averse to using his hands. Well, that's the rule set we're working with. That's how it's going to go. Standing a little too close there is DK. Should be able to slap something in here, though. But we gotta do our swaps a little bit better on the rebound opportunities. Okay. Oh. Look at that. Defenders are just going to stand still once again. It's going to be another 2. Anyway, Peach is just going to light up. Now, I did see Peach's animation when we were doing the demo last weekend. Unfortunately, because it's a perfect strike, we will not quite see what happens when it looks like something of hers is about to be stomped. But I promise it's fairly interesting to witness. Whoop. Okay. A little far away to get the chain combo I was going for, but nice dodge from Wario there. But yeah, after we get the shots off, we need to swap positions to whoever's best position to get a rebound. We just need to get in the habit of doing that. Shoot and swap. We're coming in at that kind of sharp angle. Not that we needed it as we get up to 7. Alright. Yeah, as you can see positionally here, nobody's defending. Nobody's home. Alright. Alright, once again. Ample opportunity here. Okay, we're not going to be anywhere near the Hyper Strike ball this time. It's too slow to do anything with that, but I actually have the mushroom item twice over. I really should have taken advantage of that, perhaps. Get a bit of a boost here. And okay. Nope, nothing for me, and not going to get the item boxes either. Judicious use of the mushrooms to negate the speed advantage might be something I should consider here. And yeah, just going to pass that up to specifically try to grab the Hyper Strike, and we're almost going to lose the Shadow there. Just from a lack of caution. And once again, everybody's just going to stand there and let me do it. Yeah, it seems like the practice from the demo against real humans really paid off in terms of expecting a lot more aggression all over the pitch. Well, didn't expect that to not go in, even though it was only an orange and blue. Okay. Okay, unfortunately, those shots there are going to be pretty ineffective. But it is going to net the shutout. We'll celebrate. Well, Bowser's going to have the time of his life here as we watch the replay of Donkey Kong not obeying very many regulations about the use of one's hands. And yeah, very little going on from that side in tackles and passes once again, but this is the opening match. So we haven't seen the speedy teams take advantage of their speed so far, but we're just getting started. Those randomly generated score lines from the CPU matches seem to be tending quite high, and not a lot of defensive simulation going on the other end, perhaps. Anyway, let's see what we got this time. Didn't really even take the time to look at the team composition as we get into the second round and face off against a Peach with a much more aerodynamic looking helmet this time. So Peach already very speedy with an additional speed stat is, I'm sure, might be dodging me like crazy, but not if I have anything to say about it. We'll pot one in 5 seconds. And yeah, getting used to the swap into the rebound is something that is, I think, going to be pretty beneficial. Okay. Oh yeah, Peach is just going to outrun me completely. And that dodge is going to work quite well, except Bowser is getting in a pretty decent body block there. Okay. Perhaps it's against the technique teams eventually that we'll need to worry a lot more about dodges from the opposition and be a little crisper about the tackles. Anyway. Only 1 goal so far after a minute. That's unusually low for what we've been seeing so far. Okay, gotta pick that up as Wario down low, and then nobody's gonna defend. That's an easy 2. Bring me up to 3-0. And we'll just let Bowser do his thing. Throw his Hadouken. That is one cool cyberpunk helmet from Peach, though. I have to admire the cosmetic factor there. Okay. Might as well just try to clear some space once again, and alright, straight in. Alright. We're scoring so often now that I actually am going to start skipping around a little bit when it comes to the animations. But alright, here we go. Not quite over the line. You can only shoot when you are on the opponent's half. Whoop. After all, that's still not quite aggressive enough to do what I want there. Whoops. Way out of position. Yeah, we gotta use some of these bananas to create space here. And then... oh, wow, completely missed. Still got in the orange zone, though, so we perhaps have a reasonable chance. Let's get a good shooter up front just to... see, yeah, we'll just get Bowser in the area in case that's stopped, and it is not. So, Boom Boom's gonna get some bananas into face, I suppose. Okay. Missing the first tackle was perhaps not great, but we'll... Okay, we'll just take possession there. Okay, works for me. That should have lobbed that one high. Bit of a tactical misjudgment there. Whoa, okay, it's gonna be dodged everywhere, and once again we'll have to deny the hyper strike. Now we do have a mushroom in case I wind up at a speed disadvantage once again. But we'll just pot one in for 7. Works for me. Okay. Just trying to combo these in as we run out the timer onto Hyper Strike. Yeah, eventually we'll have to be a lot more accurate about the tackles, I'm sure, but for the time being, we'll just play the way I've been playing. Whoa, oh, shouldn't have gotten sniped by that shell. Maybe a little unwise. Okay, we're nowhere near the Hyper Strike ball, so unfortunately not going to get denial there. Or there. Okay. 12 seconds remaining. I think we might win this one. Not sure why I'm getting that impression, but we are. He's just gonna give me a big oh no. Alright, no issues so far. Oh, I said no issues so far. I wouldn't want to lose a shutout in the last few seconds. Well, okay, in theory, that would have been in it if we just been a little bit under the buzzer, but we'll take it once again. Not much to look at there. Still going pretty strong, keeping clean sheets all the way down in our third of 5 brackets, third of potentially 6 here in the Turbo Cup. Let's see what the crowns have to offer. And yeah, we'll just start exercising some impatience here. Whoa! Bad start, but we salvaged it. However, probably. Looks like this squad here is a little bit more kitted out this time, though, so. That's okay, 18 seconds to the first icebreaker here this time. Okay. Oh. Getting completely zoned out of that rebound. But this should... Oh. Once again, kind of messing up some of the swaps here. Okay. Not really getting in position. Should have passed on to Donkey Kong there earlier. I believe if you use items to hit the other players, they do not count as fouls, even if you're hitting somebody without possession. At least that's my impression. Okay, I was just going for the denial on the Hyper Strike there. Let's see if we can... Oh, should have cancelled that. Unfortunately, we are going to lose the Strike Orb when we get tackled like that. Okay. Let's pass it up. Might as well just take the shot. Now, you used a mushroom item, I believe, that actually does improve your shot somehow. Does feed into your shot power. You expend it early. You should keep that in mind in case we get in a good position. Okay. Alright. Excellent position here, and I'm going to flub it once again with orange and orange, so let's get in close for a rebound opportunity. Just going to sneak in here as Donkey Kong. I'm going to expect a deflection. Oh, never mind. It's in. Oh, actually getting a dodge for once. Okay. That's what happens when the opposition bothers to dodge. You kind of have to wonder when we get up to the hard AI how that kind of situation is going to be handled, whether there's going to be some input reading or other AI advantage that's going to tip the scales. That time, though, that was just a bad reaction on my part after failing to land a tackle. Escape. Yeah, we'll try to clear some space with the bomb, perhaps. That was dangerous. I did not feel like I earned that particular save, but anyway, managed to pot that one in before the Hyperball became an issue. I don't actually know its official name. Hyperball, Strike Ball, whatever. I just think of it as the Smash Ball, basically, because it's the same kind of mechanic that you've seen since Smash Bros. Brawl. Interestingly enough, the last time there was a Mario Strikers game, Smash Bros. Was still on Melee. Brawl had not been released, and so such a thing as a final Smash or a race for a final Smash Ball had yet to exist. Oh, that's going to go wide. Oh, Red Shell is going to unfortunately control that position. Yeah, if you see the Strike Orb, Hyper Orb, whatever, go off screen, you do know that it is going to warp somewhere back onto the visible pitch soon, so you actually don't want to chase it. It looks like the action is scrolling away from the orb location. You want to rather switch to a character who's in more of a central position, ideally somebody fast, and go for it accordingly. Anyway, each doing another goal celebration here as we see what else we can get done. Oh, that was kind of a missed opportunity. Let's get the mushroom going. Kind of needed that. And oh, I was going to pot that shot quickly so I could get to the item box, but that's okay. We're not going to give up 5 in 5 seconds, I don't think, so we should be fine. And that's another trophy. 3 down. And we might as well see this little finale animation here. That's another bit of hardware for our collection. Okay. Let's keep going. Strength Cup this time. Let's see what the random draw is going to give me. Finally, somebody else other than Bowser is going to get a chance at a captaincy. Let's switch over to Banana Yellow for Donkey Kong Squadron here. We've got a double Yoshi and a Toad. So far it seems like Yoshi's and Toad's are the only characters that can double up, like the sidekicks would have been able to do in the previous game, in Strikers Charged. I mean, we just did the jungle, technically, but as Donkey Kong, I kind of feel like we should. Now let's go Mushroom. Just to change things up. We got Barbarians this time. Let's see how we do. Have to get accustomed to a new color, of course, but... Yeah, in Mario Strikers Charge, you'll recall we would have a single main character captain, and then some configuration of supporting characters like Birdo, Drybones, etc. that would have their own special moves, special ways of dodging, most notably. I remember I exploited the Boo movement quite a bit back in Charge. It's going to be DK versus DK here. Oh yes, because we're against a strength team, so we'll see. We'll just need to not get tackled too hard here. It'll be nice to finally see some aggression from the opposition, though. Haven't seen much of that so far. Means we'll need to charge up most of our tackles, though, in order for them to be effective. Especially with a lightweight character like Toad. But we should take advantage of the speed that I have. So tactically, this is probably going to be a little bit different than the matches that we've seen so far. Just given that I'm playing to rather different strengths. Okay. Not doing anything effective. Interestingly enough, as DK, we're going to load up with bananas pretty early. Okay. Nothing too effective so far. Okay, let's see. Oh, going to totally miss the strike ball, unfortunately. But Yoshi's going to get things started. I don't think I've played as a Yoshi today, have I? I don't believe I have. Okay. Just gonna stall and deny the Hyper Strike, of course. I don't imagine they can do much to get up to pitch, given the speed issues on the other side. Once again, going a little bit wide on a curve. Okay. This is the first time I've played with identical characters on my end. You'll notice that there are tons of item boxes that are available to me just because of how aggressively the other team is tackling, even when I do not have possession. And that's something we should take advantage of, is that against the muscle teams, perhaps, item spam is going to be my way forward. Blue and blue, that's going to be 2 in. You would think that kicking an egg that hard is not going to wind up very well for the egg, and as you can see, that's precisely what happens. Anyway, DK is going to munch his banana in anger, which works for me. Glad it's not my DK doing it. Whoop. A little bit late on the swap down low, unfortunately. That's going to be in from Yoshi once again. So I do have my squad set to auto, which means that when there is a switch in possession, I also switch characters immediately, instead of having to rotate my way through triggers. I don't know if it makes too much of a difference in the single-player mode. But anyway, I kind of deliberately flubbed that just so we could get a chance at Hyper Strike Ball here, but we'll get into a rather dangerous situation, but then zone everything out. And once again, potted another 2. Toad going for that team attack. I mean, that is going to be guaranteed, so we're going to quite literally bury that. That's going to take me up to 6. Okay. And 7. Those chain shots to Yoshi seem to be working out fairly well. Having 2 Yoshis available for that shooting statistic appears very advantageous here. And Octopus for 8. Well, the opposing DK is really snacking furiously here. I've got no item bank left, which, considering that we were full up on items earlier, is kind of a surprise. Oh hey, didn't even expect to get that. That's going to take me up to 10. My CPU teammates here are just going to run into the orb right on time when I was expecting just to get a regular charge shot. 10-0. Okay. Anyway, might as well try to charge something up here. I was actually trying to get a shot off his DK there. That was an accidental pass. This is the worst person. Hope you're doing alright. Anyway, here we go. And we'll just stall and see if we can get the shutout here. Is this game any good? It is really quite a lot of fun. You do have to enjoy the core mechanics. There's, I mean, it's very straightforwardly a consistent rule set without too much differentiation between characters' movesets or playing fields, which are all identical here. So it kind of tones down a bit of the variety from Mario Strikers Charged on the Wii, but so far the core mechanics have been amazing. We've cleared 3 out of the 5 initial solo tournaments so far. There is a 6th unlockable one as well as hard modes, which we'll work our way towards. So we'll see. I mean, so far it's been kind of a very easy stroll, but that's what we expected. Just, you know, going into the easier matches to start in the single player. But I've been enjoying it a lot. I was really quite hooked on it from the demo weekend last week. Okay, Toad is going to be a little bit of a weakling here when it comes to shooting. So let's see if we can just make something happen as Yoshi here, up close, and that's going to be in at 17 seconds. Yeah, we'll let him juggle a bit and show off. Good old yellow Yoshi. Stomping around as he tends to do. Gonna get a bomb here to get some repositioning in, and it should be an easy 2. Yeah, we'll watch Yoshi do a little bit of a victory march just for variety. Yeah, the opposing DK is geared up this time, so I do need to charge my tackles a little bit to have any effectiveness there. Since he is going to be outdoing my DK in strength. Alright, let's see. Yoshi seems pretty amazing on the offensive. As you can see, just kind of sneaking around with his tongue there, just whipping his tongue under the feet of poor Rosalina. Whoops. Anyway, up by 3. Yeah, Toad checking Donkey Kong there is really not going to do much. Oh, didn't expect to get a Hyper Strike there once again. It's just the CPU deciding to give me a little bit of assistance, which turned against me at the very end there. Whoops. A little early on that tackle. That's going to give my opponent an item bonus. Oh. Whoops. Nope. Okay. Let's see if we can pot that in. Yoshi up close. No, not quite. That's going to be rather obstructed. Okay. Can we curve that in? Yes, we can. Yeah, compared to the Wii game, it really depends on what you want to get out of the experience. The comparison that I've made so far is that it is very much like going from something like Smash Brawl to Smash 4, for instance, where you have kind of a tighter competitive game. Much more balanced, much more mechanically consistent, but it does take out a little bit of the craziness in the previous version. And that's just something you have to come to expect. Okay, let's make some space. Let's get the Hyper Strike in. But I will say the core mechanics are very, very good. They're quite refined from the previous version when it comes to the skill ceiling, positioning, as well as timing various button inputs. Anyway, we'll let the Toads do their thing here. That's going to take me up to 6. We've got a green shell as well for future positional purposes. Okay. But yeah, definitely one thing that is very much missed from the Wii game is the variety in the playing fields themselves in terms of unique Mario-flavored hazards that are on the pitch. They would be perhaps a little bit crazy in this game, just given how much is already going on with the item spam and everything else, but it's certainly one bit of Mario flavor that feels a little bit missing. Oh, orange and orange. I was kind of inputting this one in haste. Not expecting it to go in, but we'll see if Yellow Yoshi can do some work. Anyway, yeah, he's not going to do that. Nope. Let's try to go for the steal. So the maps are purely cosmetic. That's the main limitation of this game compared to Charge, is that the maps don't have special gimmicks like the thwomps or the flying lightning cows or whatever in the previous game. I hope it is something they eventually patch in. There is going to be post-launch support of some sort. They confirmed that there will be additional characters, but I don't know about maps, and I'd certainly like to see that, even if it breaks the online competitive balance that they're trying to bring in. But yeah, it's a very different kind of game than Charged in some ways. So like very much like going from party Smash to competitive Smash in some ways. But of course it's very early on so far. We've really literally just been on the first day of playing this. Yeah, I love the gimmick maps as well. always find out with Mario spin-offs, you know, you want some additional Mario flavor. It was the same with games like Mario Tennis or Golf or whatever, as well as that. The more you bring into the stage design, so it's not just purely character selection, the more unique it can feel. The other thing compared to Charged is that there isn't quite as much that is kind of unique to individual characters when it comes to things like their special abilities. They're differentiated by their base stats, and of course by all the animations and such, but it's not quite like in Charged where the captains had very distinctive individual moves, like Waluigi's Thorn Wall or moves like that. You kind of see that folded into the Hyper Strike effects in this game. You do see character-specific effects that do transform the field in some way. But so far, I haven't seen much strategic use out of them, mainly because the Hyper Strikes tend to go in anyway, so they have various effects to zone out the opponents, but I haven't seen that be a deciding factor in picking one character over another, so to speak. So yeah, I've heard the comparison that this is much closer to the original Super Mario Strikers on GameCube, but I never actually played the GameCube one, so I can't really say much about that. But I had a wonderful time with Charged back on Wii, so that's kind of my main guidepost here for understanding what's going on in this game. Oops. Whoop. Yeah, that was not smart. Hang on. That's strength status really kind of paying off for my opponents now. That's okay, we'll just try to outspeed him. We've got a bomb. Oh, going wide once again. And yeah, he's just tackling me everywhere. We should actually get some dodges in. I say that just as I miss a dodge, of course. Hang on. I'll just try to get some item spam going just to get in position. Let's try to get two in. And just getting that in moments ahead of the opposing DK tackle. Yeah, given the way that the maps are implemented into the multiplayer mode, from what I hear anyway, that would cause some problems for the gimmick maps eventually being included, because the idea is that you choose the map style that is on your own half, on the friendly half. And I don't think that system would make sense with the charge style gimmick, so I really do hope they fold them in some other way and find some kind of solution to make that work, even if it is just in offline or private lobby context. But yeah, it's definitely something that is a noticeable omission in this version. Okay, let's see if we can deny the Hyper Strike. And that's a total miss, so the answer is no so far. I'm gonna get a good steal here though, whoops, and we're gonna lose it once again. Just gotta stay close and do light tackles here instead of charging straight in. A light tackle is not gonna work so well against a high strength character, so because we were just bouncing right off of them against this Toad with this massive helmet. Alright. Not great there. We should revert to our previous tactics of just trying to charge the tackle, even at risk of having my characters exhaust themselves. Oh, should have dodged out of that red shell there. Whoops. Yeah, not really going to get a shot like that in. But... Okay. Oh, I thought I got that in, and it was not the case. Tackle just managed to catch me just in time. Okay. Gonna get Yoshi in position. Unfortunately, that's not gonna work either. Oh, yeah, we have to go DK for the tackles against the other DK. It's just not gonna go in otherwise. Yoshi's gonna close that one out though. Have to stop for a moment here to watch Boom Boom throw a bit of a fit. But yeah, there are a lot of respects in which Charged was a much more fully featured game. And that it also had the unique challenge scenarios, but that's something that I actually would expect to be much likely to be patched into this one. Right now, the core game is in an extremely good state, I think, and that's the important thing to know about this game at launch, is that you just kind of have to enjoy the core experience, which I do immensely. It's been really satisfying too. Well, I mean, we've just been stomping the CPU today, but what I saw of the 2v2 demo weekend last week, definitely itching to get some online 1v1 once the cups are out of the way. Whoa, totally flubbed the rebound there. I just hit the wrong button where I meant to shoot. Serves me right for trying to talk at the same time. Whoops. This should be a win. Not as much of a stomp as some of the rounds we've had so far, but actually one of my lowest scoring matches to date. That's okay, that's going to lock in the 4th trophy. And we'll see Captain DK do his little victory swing here. Anyway, bringing out the stats. Yeah, as you can see, both the tackles and the passes on the other end are in much better shape than in some of the previous squads we faced. We didn't get very many shots off. That seems to be the main issue here. Really just 2 shots going in. It's just that each of them were doubled up by the hyper strikes. But a win is a win. And we'll bag another one. Looks like each captain is going to have their own trophy collection animation at the very end as well. DK given hardware a loving tap at the end. Alright, Trick Cup. Technique this time, we really can't let them get the hyper strikes off, I would presume, otherwise we're going to run into some issues. The technique stats, I don't know how that's going to affect the CPU. From the player's side, it mostly makes the timing windows easier. Once again, the randomizer is going to give me Captain Bowser. Let's go Comets this time. And let's go Lava. Alright. Doesn't seem particularly safe for the spectators in the stands if they're on the lava side, but I don't think I particularly mind. We've seen the intros before, let's just... oh, actually, I hadn't seen Rosalina's intro, so perhaps we should have sat through that. whoa. Yeah, so I guess the thing about the trick opponents here is that their dodges are also going to be significantly better. And so that's something I have to keep in mind, that we can't be quite as complacent anymore. When it comes to just tackling into everything and occasionally missing. Dodges will happen. But that's okay, we just need to adjust tactics accordingly. Not really noticing a lot of the stat differences so far, aside from the opposition tactics. But I'm sure that will change in hard mode. Well, Wario's gonna load up on garlic here. Hadn't seen that one before. Anyway. Oh, was hoping to get a rebound as Wario there, and that did not quite go. Going to go over to steal. Oh. Intercepted by Wario. Anyway, gonna go for the orb. Oh, red shell that cancel out? Nope, missed to cancel. I was trying to dodge to cancel the short shot there, but that was a bit of a delayed reaction on my part. Still don't have good dodging reflexes so far from how I've been playing. I mean, the game's been very lenient towards me in terms of not putting me in situations where I've really needed to think about defending possessions. Great deal of this is just getting accustomed to the character switching and being fairly precise about that while also aiming the shots. Rosalina's not going to look impressed. Well, at least Bowser's using his foot this time instead of his tail. Okay. And double banana from that end. Let's just watch out for that in case it becomes relevant. We've got good shooters all around once again in this squad that I have, so... unfortunately, nowhere close to the strike orb, so we'll have to... Oh, bad news as we try to sneak in that tackle just in time. Otherwise, we would have lost much of the lead pretty quickly. Okay. Combo at least some of these in? Nope. Gotta swap our aim around a little bit more quickly. Good stop there from Boom Boom. Give him some credit. An AI-operated character on an AI-controlled team. A bit of a nested sense. Anyway. Up by 4. Not as overwhelming as in some of our previous performances, but I say that just as we get up by 5, so... Kind of wonder what the difficulty spike in the hard cups is going to be like, given that we really haven't been put to the test so far. Anyway, gonna grab the neutral item, and we'll just clear some space. And, oh, oops! Good steal there from Toad with the banana. However, we're going to do likewise and just get nice and close. Wario is drowning in money. Monopoly money upside down. Okay, gonna go for a Strike Orb and a Steal. And then... Alright, I'll just get way out here. And despite having all the space in the world, I am going to miss the first blue. Alright. Let's get ready for the rebound. And there is no need. Okay, this is a much more familiar scoreline at this point, getting into a dominating performance. Oh, totally missing the shell. That was at point blank range, and that's okay. Yeah, we once again have a side that is just good shooters all around, and so really makes a huge difference. That's an overwhelming victory. Of course, that's just the first one in the cup, not something that we're going to be too concerned about. It's still just easy mode so far, so... Let's move on. Peach, Luigi, Waluigi, Mario. Now that's going to be interesting. I'm sure. Going to be a much leaner squad than what I have here. Optimized for tricks. As you can see, they really are getting down some of those perfect dodges. And so now we can see the potential threat from the tricks AI. As we get further into this game. Whoa, trying to get the dodge there, and luckily the opposition's just going to leave me alone as I get Bowser in position. So yeah, we're definitely being treated with a bit of a light hand here. Shouldn't get overconfident about that, because certainly even against randoms that we saw in the test weekend, the game is not going to go that easy on you when you're playing against people who are actually showing any aggression. So yeah, the normal cups really do take it easy on you when it comes to just not attacking you too hard. Oh. Oh. Good chain passes from the opposition there. That's what the tricks AI does, I guess. We have to really learn how to intercept the lobs once again. And... whoop. Can we get one in finally? Okay. Intercepted at last. Not really in position to do much about that. Okay, we'll try to zone out with the bomb this time. That's going to be a little bit off. Still have the banana in tow, but we might want to save that for what's actually necessary. Oh, like right now, maybe. Never mind. Scratch what I said about saving the items. Mario's going to be showered in cash instead. Money, money, money. Yeah, item awareness seems to be a pretty big deal in this game. Oh. Oh, geez, that was almost a total miss. That's not going to go in. Not really paying attention to the dial there. That's one of the worst input sequences we've had so far, which is unfortunate given Mario's spectacular diagonal fart here that he's trying to get going. Then we're going to be in excellent position for a rebound. We're going to see Boom Boom express some anguish. Okay. Is that going to leak in? Yes, it is. Wonderful. Let's watch this one again. That one was not even visible from the camera here. Given that it just rolls in gently. We'll have a better view of it here. Yeah. Okay. Sure, we'll just do something quite rude there as Wario. And that's it. Has the exact nature of the familial relationship between Wario and Waluigi actually been established? Because I don't think they are necessarily brothers in the same way as the Mario brothers are. It's hard to tell because Wario's, or rather Waluigi's lore, so to speak, comes entirely from the sports spin-offs. So I was never truly clear about that. Anyway, thought we'd have an ample opportunity there, but not going to be that easy on me. But off the glove, and that's a 7.
Oh, baby.
Anyway, we'll just watch Wario devour some garlic again. I think Wario's kind of been winning the animation tier list so far, shall we say. Yeah, off the glove, off the post, and it in. Spectacular. Yeah, having heavies like Bowser up front is really proving to be quite beneficial. I say that, of course, just as we miss everything. I'm going to lose the strike orb that time, but I was trying to regain possession. That's gonna... Oh! Not quite in. Alright, up to 8. You'd have to imagine that with Wario being showered with that much cash, then at this point, at least some of it has got to be counterfeit. Anyway, we might as well just play for possession at this point to try to lock in the shutout if we can. Wow, a couple of close calls there. Anyway, despite a serious disadvantage when it comes to possession, it's a win. Let's see if one of these is going to put up a fight in the third round. And it's going to be the Bolts composition once again. But we did witness earlier that the AI, I think, does seem to pick up slightly going into match 3, so we'll see. It might just be a trick of the mind here, but we don't know too much about the CPU tuning from round to round. So let's just see it. Okay. Alright. Not so effective that time, but we'll see if we can get anything done with Wario up front. Yeah, just getting lots of shots off. has been the way to go so far with everything I've been seeing. Oh, probably shouldn't have done that quite so aggressively, but yes, we should. Is that going to fall in? Nope. Unfortunately, just barely missed that item opportunity here. And it does not matter. Now we're just going to roll the normal cups by the looks of it. I wasn't expecting the easy difficulty to be quite this much of a walkover, but I'm sure it'll pick up just given how things were with the harder cups and charged. Let's see if we can grab the orb. We're up by 3. We actually should be prioritizing orb denial. Okay. Let's make some space. That's going to take me up to 5. That seems to be the general idea here, is that if you do get control of the strike orb, that you create a safety zone around yourself with items, and then you can get a nice clean shot with somebody with high technique like Rosie here. Alright, let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can keep a clean sheet all the way through the tournament bracket. I don't think we've actually done that with any of the cups so far. We still got a few minutes to go to make that happen, though. Not even at the halfway mark yet on this particular round. And, whoop. Not a lot of rebound control here. Anyway. Quick one here from Rosalina as she changes up from low to high. I don't know if the quick low shot has any better chances of creating a rebound, but we're not going to worry too much about that. We're just going to keep on playing aggressively. Is that going to roll in? Yes, it is. And we're up to 9. Nope. There we go. And then can we get Bowser in? Nope. One thing I've not been making much use of so far is to sprint. The sprinting and dodge are just not part of my muscle memory yet. The controls can get pretty complex in this game because you get tons of movement options. Oh. Okay, should have zoned out with a banana that time. But yeah, you can't, against these tricks-based opponents, let them get too deep into the combo strings because it will get them off. Oh hey, why am I not able to get that this time? Oh, trying to move everybody out of the way, and it's still not quite effective. Getting a little bit sloppy on my end here, perhaps, but yeah, that's quite a lot of past strings that we shouldn't have given up. The tricks-based opponents will go for chains, and if they get them started, they'll just be passing all over the place. Oh, got a superstar here. Not sure what I can do about it. And unfortunately, we are going to lose the clean sheet from not being able to deal with a star. I don't know if I'm just supposed to stand in front of him and obstruct. I mean, he could always curve around me. But we don't have a good way of handling that apart from just getting far ahead enough that the star doesn't matter. don't exactly know what the spawn conditions for the star yet are anyway, whether it is something that's only going to come up as a comeback tool, whether it's going to be weighted that way. Okay. Had to abandon possession for a moment there to try to get the Hyper Strike in. It was actually not a good idea, given that, once again, once the tricks got going, we really did need to move to intercept. Will we get off here? Oh, yes, we will. Had to go a little bit quick there and get into the orange zone rather than the blue at the end of that. Not quite hitting the sweet spot just because I was trying to get ahead of the tackle. That's going to take me up to 12. Alright, not quite a perfect run, but... Oh, look at that, we actually just narrowly avoided that third goal at the very end. Anyway. Trophy number 5. Doing alright so far, except if you look at the pass and possession statistics, you can see that in some ways, once we got the tricks combos going, we were somewhat dominated, so we just needed to avoid letting the opposition have possession on my end of the pitch in the first place. We are, however, going to lock that up. Alright. Championship Cup is unlocked, so it's going to be called the Championship Cup, not the Striker Cup like it was previously, but all-round best teams, yeah, will of course go randomized with no gear once again. Since we've been doing pretty well with that so far, I would expect some kind of spike in difficulty since this is the first unlockable. We're going to have a fairly balanced squad here this time. Let's go back to pink for the Magicians. And... have we taken Mushroom Hill yet? I don't recall. I think I did when I was running DK earlier, but that's alright. I'm sure we've seen a bit of everything by this point. And so yeah, we're going to have an opponent with gear right from the start this time. And then you'll see already that they're going to be a little more aggressive. So. Nope. Whoop, was way out of position. Not going for the right character at all. Okay. Nice dodge from Waluigi there. Oh. Nice item defense on that side as well. And unfortunately, I'm going to miss that tackle entirely, and we're at long last going to be at a deficit, so... maybe the Championship Cup should not get me into this sense of complacency. I should have gotten closer for this, but that's okay. We'll even it up regardless. Alright. Okay. Yeah, to fake out into the pass is something that I've been meaning to do with a lot of those charge shots, but hadn't quite managed successfully, and so it's nice that we finally got one down, because that's going to pop an extra 2 right away off of Peach, who's got a very wide zone to work with on the blue part of the meter. This is, of course, still the first round. And not something we should be too complacent about. Whoops. Yeah, you can see the item use from the opposition is already significantly better. So this is picking up quite a bit from what we've seen so far. Like we've just been dominating the tutorial. I mean, it helps that they actually dodge, and that's something that I've been kind of failing to do. Yeah, as you can see, whiffing the tackle is getting me into big trouble. Okay, so we've got to actually play seriously now instead of just assuming that everything's going to go in. Anyway, Yoshi, however, is going to be right on target. Okay. Yeah, that was a bit of a premature shot that was still on my half. Okay. Not a very good combo string there. Just wasn't in the right position for it. Yeah, I really have to learn to dodge. I know the input for it, I just am not doing it very effectively. Okay, finally. Let's make some space. And we're up to 5. Nope. Let's pass it on. And we'll acknowledge the raid from B Minutes in just a moment. In fact, let's take a bit of a breather while Boom Boom is controlling the ball and give you a big shout out. B Minutes playing 3 houses. Hope your campaign has been going well for you. I know you were kind of in the midst of Black Eagles last I checked. I don't know if you're still on that, given the length of a Fire Emblem campaign. I would assume it's early stages yet. You were doing the DLC. Yeah, like I said, the DLC is quite a lot of fun. Oh, I see. You must have been doing it so you can have the characters available for the main campaign once to become unlocked, if I understand it. I still haven't played the main campaign with the DLC characters. I've only used them in the Cindered Shadows campaign myself, but yeah. Okay, let's try to race to the orb here. And there's some space. Okay. That should be in. Should put me up to 8. So yeah, not a whole lot of maps in Cindered Shadows, but I found them quite a lot of fun, especially because in some ways, not having as much control over your party configuration gives you much more of that classic Fire Emblem experience of being much more constrained in what your party layout is going to be. I had a great time with it. I assume you're playing on hard like you have been with the main campaign. But yeah, I love the movement skills on the Trickster class in particular. Once I kind of started mastering the swap. Okay, Peach has a star on that side. We have to really obstruct like crazy. And indeed, that's going to thankfully not notch up another goal on that side as we get out of the first round in the championship. We lost twice in Chapter 2, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember which is which. Because Chapter 2... yeah, I remember the maps quite well, but not their exact sequence, because I know there's the whole escape near the beginning and everything, but... Anyway, much more defensively capable opponent this time, as you can see. So we'll see how it picks up as we get into round 2. And Jedi Master Grogu, welcome. Jedi Master Grogu, don't know if you've been keeping up with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, or if that's too anachronistic for your character. Actually, no, it wouldn't be, because Grogu is definitely alive at the time that takes place. Whoop. Alright, let's see if we can sneak one in early. Not going to happen so easily. That's going to be a bit of a foul. But I'll take it. And we're going to be up by 1. Yeah, the Obi show. Exactly. No, I know Grogu is live at that point. But as he has to be, since he's around for Order 66. You gotta think that, you know, if somebody's running a pizza joint or something, is really into Star Wars, they always look forward to the point in the day when the orders pick up and they can say, aha, execute Order 66. Pepperoni and extra cheese. Whoops. And no, I have watched a new episode, and I do recognize the locations from Fallen Order.
Oh, no.
If anything, I find that maybe one of the limitations of the new series is that if you have played Fallen Order, you've already seen some of the concepts in perhaps a stronger form, particularly the third sister, or previously the second sister, you know. Just, it seemed like some of that material had been actually better trodden in the game, but quite looking forward to Jedi Survivor next year, though. Oh, should have canceled out of that one. What a failed tackle over there. Whoa. Alright, let's do some shell control over here. See if we can pop one in as Yoshi, and yeah, Yoshi's shooting statistic is once again going to make a big difference here. And Pokken Diner is going pretty well. Yeah, it seems like so far though that with the live action series, they're generally trying to make them on the assumption that much of the audience has only watched live action Star Wars. So, I mean, maybe not so much with Mandalorian, where you get a lot of the Clone Wars characters coming in, but so yeah, maybe I'm wrong about that, but it certainly seems like they wanted to keep the prerequisite for the live action series fairly low, so that the references to other material is not going to be too consequential. Oh, we're going to miss a tackle here, and blue and black. Let's see if we can button spam our way out of this one, or we are going to lose the lead pretty quickly. And yeah, B-Minutes, I heard these Xenoblade pre-orders were a fiasco, given that they were just through Nintendo's site and that the pre-orders rot down to sight, from what I understand. I didn't even try for this one. Last time I got a special edition was Metroid Dread. I usually don't go too hard on the Nintendo special edition collectibles. But I know B-Minute said you're a big amiibo collector and everything, so for completion's sake, you'd probably want the Xenoblade Steelbook as well. And the art book's always quite a treat. Alright. Missing the blue zone is Peach. Now that's unfortunate. Really should have nailed this one. And yeah, B-Minutes, I got my Min Min in last week. It's the first amiibo I've gotten in a long, long time. I try to keep my amiibo under control, and I actually hadn't obtained any in probably the past 2 years or so, but I absolutely loved ARMS, and so I knew I had to have Min Min as, you know, the one really notable official ARMS collectible. This game here, by the way, Mario Strikers, reminds me a lot of my experience with ARMS, in that the single-player mode is pretty much just pure matches all the way down, but the core mechanics are so good that, you know, this kind of traditional arcade-style single-player makes a lot of sense, even if it is kind of dialing things down in variety, even compared to the previous Mario Strikers game on the Wii. Like, in some ways there's less variety to it, but in other ways it really just doesn't matter too much. Whoa, okay. That was dangerous. Alright, let's see if we can do some zone control with the banana here. Oh, that's okay. We're going to net a win here anyway, so let's just try to have a nice finish. And is that going to roll in? Nope. Almost. Eighth one on the board. And yeah, I was a really big fan of ARMS. I played it purely with motion controls. Wow, that was embarrassing. But I really got into it, unlocked absolutely everything, spent tons of time figuring out the single player on the higher difficulties. I honestly think I spent more time on multiplayer matches in ARMS than I ever did in Smash. Just because back when it was really active, it was just a ton of fun to figure out the various nuances of the different sets and configurations. Your main was Dr. Coil. Mine was actually Min Min, hence the amiibo. I spent a decent amount of time with Max Barras as well, I think. Actually, no, I tried a bit of everybody. I think Min Min was one who I took to the best very early on, though, but spent a while as Mechanica. I did a lot of the target practice minigame for unlocking everything with Mechanica, I think. But I think back to those days. That was 5 years ago when ARMS came out, which is kind of remarkable. It's still like we're, you know, smack in the middle of this particular Nintendo generation, and on most Nintendo platforms we would be winding down by now, or already petering out. Anyway, let's see what we can do this time. Whoop. Okay, we're way out of position. And we're gonna whiff that tackle as well. Yeah, sometimes just going for the body blocks if you're not going to tackle seems like it's still going to be effective. We need to chain that a little bit closer as Yoshi if we want to get anything done. Yeah, the opposition is getting a lot better at dodging, so just can't whack everybody and expect to get away with it. Okay, here we go. Let's get some items in. That is surprisingly not in. Whoops. Would think by now. Nope. Yeah, I wonder if on higher difficulties or as you progress in a championship bracket, the shot probability gets fudged a little bit in the CPU matches. I don't exactly know how the tuning works, so I'm sure people will data mine that stuff soon enough if they haven't already. Oh, getting in a bit close. And assume it. You are with B Minutes, I believe. We've got multiple channels going on at once. Because B Minutes is the only raid we've had in here so far today. Whoop. It's been a pretty quiet session, just this game just coming out. I believe Nintendo actually has been having some online service issues today as well, which is not good timing for people looking forward to some of the random matches in Mario Strikers. Okay, let's try to get clear. Make some space. Oh, missing the blue once again, but we'll try to position ourselves for a rebound. And yeah, B Minutes, obviously people are clamoring for Daisy. As always with the spin-offs, I hope they get into some deeper cuts with the picks for additional characters. I actually mostly wonder, and Peach is going to charm Boom Boom here. Always a fun animation to see. That does not happen if you get the guaranteed blue shot. I kind of wonder what they'll add other than characters. Like, I'm more interested in future updates that are going to do something else on the content side instead of just the team configurations. Because the thing is, apart from base stats, and of course the kind of flavor of the character animations, in this game the characters don't seem to make a huge difference. Mechanically, they're not really that distinct. I mean, I can totally still see why people, you know, want Daisy in, obviously, and want there to be a bit more to choose from in the team selection, but I don't think that's going to materially change the nature and variety of the game that much for people who aren't already kind of in on it. Oh, let's try to dodge out of that. Too late, unfortunately. I was trying to cancel this strike, but that was not happening. Okay, here we go. Finally got some defensive maneuvers happening here. Okay. Oh, off center. A little too far out. Yeah, we should have denied the orb, given that I'm only 3 ahead, but okay. Good dodges from that side. Unfortunately for me. Whoa. That's nowhere close. Alright. A little behind on chat while I close out this match. But we'll catch up in just a moment. Anyway, 3 up, and we have the championship trophy. Yeah, I played Mario Tennis Aces during its free week on Nintendo Switch Online, which was back in 2019, I want to say. Because I had a free week, and I actually just managed to do all of the campaign content basically in one sitting. In an airport, in fact. I had a major flight delay that just happened to coincide with the Tennis Aces free week, so I just booted it up and played through the whole thing while waiting for my connection. It was a pretty severe delay. Anyway, you can see here that the possession statistics were absolutely dreadful for me, and we made it out anyway. So there. And that's the championship cup for me. And this is the first time we've seen Peach with the captaincy. So she'll cartwheel into the trophy, and so there is, as I understand it, a hard mode that gets unlocked here. But we're just going to see the credits for the first time. as we get out of the Championship Cup on normal. That'll give me a chance to yak a bit more while we watch the Hyper Strike animations play all over again. But yeah, I really enjoyed the core mechanics in Tennis Aces. I did play the initial demo for it as well, back in its pre-release phase back in 2018. But I found out I kind of exhausted it quickly. Like, I loved the whole principle of the game and also felt like I had seen enough of it. And I was concerned that maybe this would be a similar experience, but no, I just couldn't get enough of it in the 2v2 demo weekend last week. And of course now we have the standard mode with a single player controlling all 4 characters, and it's a kind of much pure and more manageable experience in some ways. I always did think of the Mario Strikers series as being kind of a long-term continuation of the original Nintendo World Cup game that was on the NES and coincided with the teams in the actual 1990 Nintendo World Cup, including West Germany, which was the final boss. Now, that game itself was not originally World Cup branded, but was based on the same series as River City Ransom, the Kunio-kun series, if I pronounced it correctly. And you could see that it shared all the character sprites as well, but it kind of had the same principles as the Strikers series does here, in that you have just a handful of players on the pitch, but you're trying to set up these super shots all the time. But yeah, I've always found Strikers to be my favorite of the Mario Sports spin-off series. Just a lot of variety to core mechanics, especially in this entry, where I was saying earlier in the stream that going from Mario Strikers Charged on a Wii to this game kind of feels like going from Brawl to Smash 4. It's a much leaner and focused experience that's balanced for online multiplayer, and of course everything is in HD, but it does dial back some of the craziness and some of the party atmosphere that you got from the wilder mechanics. Anyway, Championship Cup, measly 400 coins. Now we should have unlocked the real thing. This reminds me of Japanese anime about football, Inazuma 11. With special shots. There is an Inazuma 11 video game series as well, I think. I remember that being on 3DS, but I never looked into it. I recognize this theme music from the previous Mario Strikers. Anyway, Galactic Mode unlocked. Let's do that. We are already automatically in Galactic Mode. How hard could it be? Let's see. So far, the normal mode has been a total walkover, where I've not had to strategize at all. We've just been running random teams with no gear and seeing how we do. So let's see if this is a proper spike in difficulty like in some of the previous games. I might just get rolled over, by the way, so this might be an embarrassing way to crash out, but we'll stay on pink. And we will go Mansion. So yeah, gold cups here. Let's see. Luigi looks so angry. If you look at Captain Luigi on the right side there, he looks fierce. And yeah, so the opposition is all kitted out. We'll see. Well, all right, sure. 3 seconds, we're ahead. This is the first match in the bracket, though, so let's not be too sure of ourselves here. Even in the late part of the Championship Cup, we already found that I was starting to run into a few issues. And yeah, the item usage is already noticeably smarter. So we actually have to play the game now instead of just rolling over everything. Alright. We have a match. Oh. Yeah. So, in the Cannon Cup, we're facing a squad that has stacked their shooting statistics, and we're kind of noticing that here. We just need to not let them have possession in my half, pretty much. Since I haven't been playing with Gear System yet, and I've just been sitting on my bank of cash, I haven't been thinking too hard about how to counter certain stats. But if we are really kind of struggling in this mode, that is something I'll have to adjust towards. Something I will have to think about. Okay, let's go for the Hyper Strike Orb. We will need it. Make some space with the items here, and then... Nope. That's going to be snatched away. Okay, 2. She doesn't have legs. How would she play? Does she really not have legs? She completely has legs. I mean, if you've played Captain Toad, you know for sure that Toadette has legs. And keep in mind that they put Petey Piranha in the last game, and he definitely doesn't have legs. Whoops. I mean, given that Toad is already here, Toadette's really not too much of a stretch. Okay, trying to get the rebound there with the character swap. That was not as well played as I would like. Should have charged that one up. Yeah, unfortunately, they are getting the dodge dash bonus here. That end. Whoa. Close call. Nope. Okay, I do want the orb once it's on screen, but whoa, nope. It looks like we're getting rolled. You know, Toadette never really had much of an active role until Captain Toad. Because from her first appearance in Mario Kart Double Dash, she was pretty much spin-off filler to match Toad's weight class for the longest time, and so it's only in recent years that she's come into her own as a character with her own separate identity, particularly in Mario Maker as well, where that's one of her more significant playable appearances. But yeah, as with Waluigi, I think Toadette is one of those characters who has much greater presence in the kind of Nintendo cultural animation. In the not animation, in the cultural conversation rather than her actual playable presence. But definitely neglected, though, I would say. Can we grab the orb quickly? Oh, maybe that was not smart. Okay, now let's create space. Okay, that's going to be 2 up. That should draw it. I haven't played Smash in the longest time, and so I haven't really even played the classic mode for Pirate and Mythra, I think. I played the classic mode for all of the other characters up to a point, but then I kind of fell off it somewhere in the second DLC pass. And just had too much else to play other than Smash, because like I'm not one of those people who really are stuck with Smash in the long run. Always enjoyed Smash, but you know, you kind of do need a social experience to keep going with it. Like the one that B-Minutes runs, of course, on his stream. Oh, wow, I was so out of position for that. No defense whatsoever. I'm going to be eliminated pretty quickly here, just entirely on account of giving that one up. Now, we do still have the Hyper Strike available, though, so 20 seconds to get that down, perhaps. Is that going to go? Yes. Okay. Let's see if we even this up. And we'll also take care of the moderation issue in just a moment. We got 13 seconds left in the match, though, so we'll see this first and see if this is going to be in. In. Okay, there we go. And let me just see if we can stroke that out. Okay, we're going to barely save this. Assuming I don't give anything up in the final seconds. Very fortunate Hyper Strike at the end there. Had to win the RNG battle. Now, this is my first time with Rosalina as captain, so we'll just hit through some of the victory animations just for the novelty. Okay, gonna scrape by. Definitely upping the challenge a bit here with the first round. It is double elimination, so we do have a bit of a safety buffer of one defeat, but can't be counting on that. And yeah, no worries, Simic. And yeah, Spiderborg, that is quite correct. A win is a win. Not a very graceful one, but we'll take it. Oh, whoops. Got zoned out by Wario there. In an unfortunate fashion. Oh, wanted to shell him in the face, and that just didn't work. That also didn't work. Look at Toad's outfit here. You think he's weighed down by that somehow, but apparently not. Anyway. Nope. Prematurely hitting the shot button here. Wow. Okay, not great. Yeah, we're still in the Cannon Cup, and so Rosalina, who is already a good shooter, plus a shot bonus, is just absolutely going to wreck me if I let her get anything off. Whoa. Like I was saying. Alright. Let's see. Let's try to get in here. Collect some of the boxes. Way off target. That was a bit of a literal long shot anyway, so should race for the orb. Nope, missed it. Okay. This is much more like the multiplayer aggression I remember. Okay, we're going to at least survive the Hyper Strike meter, though, I think. And that's not going to be useful. Is Rosalina like a fairy or something? Actually, she's a goddess. Like, she's a cosmic space goddess. It is well established in Super Mario Galaxy. Speaking of which, the storybook that establishes Rosalina's backstory is something that I've been saying that I might actually want to record myself reading at some point. I was telling somebody that on, I think, one of the Maker streams last week. There seemed to be some interest in that idea. Maybe once we hit a follower milestone or something, we'll look into that. I need to actually play enough Galaxy to get my file up to that point first. Wow. Okay. We're not in good shape. let's try to actually play this properly here. Shouldn't be spending all my items so quickly, just given... Oh. Okay, we have the Hyper Strike. Let's make use of it. Before time runs out. I have no items to do zone control here, though, so... Okay. I am kind of getting wrecked. But... Okay. I was about to say I'm wide open, but then Toad decides to zoom in here, and... we are losing. Well, a minute 36 here. Let's see if we can get anything going. The game does handicap you with items past a certain point, and as you can see, by giving you certain other items like the star. Now, if we can get the Hyper Strike Orb with the star, we should actually be practically guaranteed... Whoops. No, I guess you can be interrupted. Yeah, so you can't just camp on the star when you're doing a Hyper Strike, it seems. It does exhaust it at the beginning of the charge shot, not at the end. Okay, I should have dashed into that. That was not great. So this may actually be the first loss I've taken in this game so far, and that'll be a humbling experience. It is a double elimination bracket, though, so we actually have a chance to learn from this experience. Does your character get a level up? No. But you can collect cash as you win the cups or do other activities in the game. And the cash allows you to buy the gear items like the ones that my AI opponents are wearing here. The gear sets, as far as I know so far, are zero-sum in that you always take certain points off a stat and then add to another stat. So right now we're playing against opponents that are all stacking their shooting or attacking stat, which is why I'm getting wrecked. But when they wear the gear pieces, it actually subtracts stat points from some of the other categories. I can show you some of that after we lose here. In spectacular fashion. Oh, should have gotten a strike orb here. I kind of need it, but it's going to warp to the center. And will I get this? Yes, I will. That'll bring us up to 4 at least. Close the gap slightly. Anyway, Rosalina sends that into orbit. Let's go. Alright, not a lot of time to close out the difference, but we'll see if we can do it. Yeah, so far I've just been doing random teams without gear, just to see how well I do. Experiment a bit. Whoops. And it was going well up until now. So I haven't really been engaging with the kind of stat stacking metagame just yet. But there is going to be a certain element of that as you try to figure out how to counter each of the themed cups. Anyway. Wait. Nope. Should have dodged out of that one. Oh. Oh, hey. Nope. Oh, should have expended shell there, actually. Yeah, that was a missed opportunity. If I had zoned out Wario with the red shell, I actually could have potentially gotten the Hyper Strike to close it out to 7-all. So we are going to lose to the opposing squad here. But it is a double elimination bracket. We're going to just get back into it. Interesting that I had a possession advantage here throughout the match, and yet the shots, as you can see, the shot percentage on the other side was just pretty phenomenal, so we will lose. And that's sending me to the lower bracket against the Flyers. Let's see how we do. And yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm kind of locked into my current team, so I can't show you the gear system right now, but when we get a chance to exit out to the menu later, I'll give you a look at that. Okay. That was a bit of a weak shot. Okay, taking a lead. Very important that we do. Oh, a little slow on the passing here. And a little off on the shots as well. That's going to be 2 up, though. Need a decent safety buffer here as we're advancing in the lower bracket. Nice deke there. That's going to get me into a fair bit of trouble. However, wow. Okay, that's going to be an issue. And we'll keep that mushroom in mind for when I have a good use case for it. Whoops. The steel didn't last long there. Let's grab the item block. We have a shell now. Alright, let's race over here. Zone this guy out. Should be able to get this down before the slide comes in, and we should be 4 up. So we may just survive this, but there's quite a lot of time left on the clock, so... Actually, only about a minute into this match. And, yeah, giving 1 up already. Bit of an unintended team tackle that time. Boom Boom will protest. Okay. Kind of interesting to think that when Mario Strikers Charged came out, Boom Boom had not been much of a presence in the Mario series for some time. He had a bit of a revival with the 3D Land and 3D World games, and of course, more recently in Mario Maker 2, but... Last time we had a Mario Strikers game, the keeper was the Kremling from Donkey Kong Country. And it's incredible to think about just how far ago that was, really, in terms of Mario series history. Oh, okay, that was dangerous, but we got it. Nope, missed it. Okay. Okay, nice steal there. Let's just get the shot off. That's in. Yeah, nice to have a good one here after the humiliating loss not long ago. No matter what the Rosalina squad faced earlier, we'll have to face once again. Either in the losers or winners bracket. They will be obstructing the path to victory. Okay. A little bit chaotic here, but some good dodges on the opponent's side. Anyway, we're just going to get the item box going, and we'll obstruct some space with Banana. I don't know if this will come off. Yeah, in the orange zone, though. Yeah, so this is the first cup that we've been doing on hard mode, like in galactic mode as you call it, because we just unlocked that. We absolutely cleaned up in a normal mode. Whoa, that was a miss, fortunately. But we got that in. You think my previous opponent was hoping to get me? Yeah. Probably. So, yeah, the opposition is going to have a star here available because it seems like the items are kind of used as the comeback mechanic. Also as a mechanic to deter you from playing too aggressively against players without possession. Because when you do a hit an opposing player without the ball, that is what spawns the item box. Whoa. Okay, need to get this in before charge comes. Now, I do have some items to work with here, so I'm going to miss everything. Whoa, that's not good. Let's get over here. See if we can make it in. Yeah, not the best choice for the tackler here. That's okay, we'll survive. Alright, that went a lot better. And yeah, our previous opponents seem to have advanced. Well, we're in the loser's bracket, so we actually need to beat them twice, as I understand it. Take off both points of health. So we need to win 2 in a row against the team that was giving me so much trouble earlier. Again, just can't let Rosalina get up front with a shot. That was the main issue we were running into. We'll just try to build up a comfortable lead if we can. Okay. Whoa. Not so great over here. And, oh, here's Rosie. As you can see, if she gets any kind of charge shot in at all, it's just going to go in. Because her stat for that is just way too stacked. Okay. Just need to not let them have possession in my half. Because, as you can see, they're consistently just passing to Rosalina as their captain and main attacker. And that is just wrecking me. Just need to keep her under control. With shells if necessary. But in the meantime, we'll just try to stay aggressive. Whoop. Wrong character there. Not exactly the swap I was going for. Okay, interception. Yeah, there are a couple of moves that I'm not quite comfortable with yet, the interception being one of them. You just hit the A or B button as you approach the recipient of a pass, as far as I understand it, but we just have not been doing that very successfully. Can I try to get a steal here while we still have the hyper strike meter? Look at how well she's dodging every single thing, and of course I'm going to get bombed there right at the end of my meter. Okay. Let that go just in time. Whoa, got rolled by that shell. Yeah, we can't be doing so many charge tackles and whiffing. Because that's the thing that's mainly getting me out of position, is that My opponent actually knows how to dodge this time. Oh. Okay. Alright, let's try to pass this up. Okay, made some space. Let's go. Just the blue zone again, but we'll hopefully be able to get this in. For those new to the game, you need to hit blue on both ends of the Hyper Strike in order to get a guaranteed 2 goals. Instead, we just have a high probability of success, but nothing absolute. But it is in. We are going to take the lead. So, highly necessary to get that in there with a minute 46 left to go. Okay. Okay. Sometimes losing track of my character swaps, that's a major risk factor so far, but we'll see if we can... Whoa! Okay, gonna get the charge here, which is very important. Oh, trying to zone out with items once again. Unfortunately, my item bag is all out. Nope. Let's pass it up. Whoa, that's a problem. Okay. Nope. Hit after hit. And unfortunately, missing the Hyper Strike opportunity. We just need to deny it at this point. Can't let her get a single charge in, or we're going to find ourselves at a deficit once again. Alright. A very dangerous situation here. About 4 seconds left to go. Let's just clear it. Clear it. Alright, one more to go. That was a little tougher than expected. I would expect the final round to pick it up some more. Yeah, we do need one more rematch against this squad. As you can see, they've been tackling very aggressively. Yeah, winner bracket rematch. Let's go for it. Okay. Nope. Need to build that lead. And whoa, just overstepping that completely. And wow, I just got tripped all over the place. Yeah, I haven't been using the sprint very effectively so far. That's a very important aspect of the game that we've been neglecting. Okay, great. Two up. Let's try to widen that gap. Not feeling comfortable about this yet, given how badly some sequences went in the previous bouts. Okay, thankfully a bit of a long shot from Wario over there. That's not going to save me, though, especially not with the charge getting picked up by the opposing team. However, being the team scoring offensively, no, they do actually retain a charge even after scoring. Okay. I really do need to dodge, as I've been saying repeatedly. Just not really big for the muscle memory yet. That's a huge problem for me. Because pretty much every time I see Rosalina get possession, the opposing one that is, it's become a bit of a fiasco. Okay. Nope. Not enough space there to get a long shot. Well, we're sitting on a bank of 2 shells. Let's see if we can space things out a little bit. It's not the way to do it. However, if we go for the orb, now I'm potentially in a better spot. No. Didn't mean to pass to the rear there. That was somewhat flub. Whoops. Nope. Yeah, seriously missed opportunity there. How much time do we have left on the clock? We've got 1 minute 40. We're not going to miss this hyper strike opportunity, but... Oh, Banana's going to obstruct a shot. That's unfortunate. Okay, good. Got a steal. Okay. Once again, just flubbing every dodge here. Just dodging has not been very successful for me at all in this game. And I tackled Toad just a little bit too late, so we really do need to make use of the Hyper Strike now. I do have the charge at least, so if I just kind of weave in and then bomb out of the way, we absolutely need to hit this. Blue and blue. Okay, that's going to tie it up. It's going to be tight. And we'll need to pull ahead after this. It'll be interesting to see how the Championship Cup in the Galactic mode picks up in difficulty, given that even in the initial themed cups here, we're already seeing quite a lot more dynamism from the opponent. Okay. I shouldn't have expended both my items there perhaps, but we'll get a charge in and we've got a shell right away. Okay, if I can get out of the way here. And get the Hyper Strike in before too long. We'll see if we can make something happen. Unfortunately, we're going to miss the Hyper Strike opportunity. We just need to not let anything in the last 7 seconds and try to survive into sudden death. Okay. Golden goal. Let's see what we can do. Oh, should have dodged out of that one too. And unfortunately, that is a loss. Axer Typo coming in from a party of 15 just to see me lose. Let's give you a big shout out. Axer Typo, did you manage to finish your run through the entirety of the 8-letter words in a dictionary? I know you were reasonably close after this weeks-long project of going through the 7s and 8s. You just finished. Well, congratulations. That's got to be what? Something on the order of a little under 30,000 words, just with the 8s. Quite a huge undertaking to do all on stream, but I hope that was a rewarding experience that's going to pay off in the short run. Alright, unfortunately that is my first tournament defeat here. Since we just got a raid in, we might as well retry a bit. You can spend coins to retry to match, you know. As tempted as I am to start over from the beginning, let's just retry it. The cost is going to escalate with time. I can't really spam this all day, but we'll take away from some of the purity of doing the full run and try to get this going once again. So. And authority, you should see your dictionary. Yeah. I'm sure that's well within what Extra Typo can handle. Whoops. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Trying to create some space. We had a pretty good start in a previous one, and previous match against this team, and that still wasn't quite enough to work with. Nope. Remember to cancel out of these shots. Unfortunately, we are starting out behind already.
Oh, baby!
Authority, I think I know what kind of dictionary you're talking about. The one with, you know, just little indented tabs for the letters of the alphabet. Webster's used to issue. And probably still do. I haven't actually had like a home desk reference physical dictionary for quite a long time now. If you actually need lexical information, you just OED it online these days, I guess. Anyway, we're getting off to a bad start here. Alright, let's see if we can do something off target once again. Aiming a little bit high with Bowser. He's got quite a big curve to his shot. We need to compensate for that accordingly. Wow. Mario being an absolute speed demon there as he absorbs the mushroom into that shot. Whoops. Yeah, that's gonna be way off. And unfortunately, that dodge is be a misfire as well. Okay, Strike Orb, we need it. We absolutely must have it. That'll be quite dead. Okay, wide open. Unfortunately, it's going to be orange, and orange, it's probably not going to hit. Extra Typo, I don't have my bot up. I should get that up in a moment. Once I have my hands free to fire it up. Wreckage, of course, probably some ways down to probability list on your run through the 8s. Whoops. And yeah, speaking of wreckage. Oh yeah, handballs all over the place in this game. Nobody seems to mind too much. Okay, Define bot should be up and running in a moment here. Let me just see on my other display if it's actually running. Oh, I should get back into the game though. See if we can recover this somehow. Whoops. Okay, we at least got the Strike Orb on our side. Let's try to double up on that. And make some space. Oh, not quite. Can I get it? Nope. It expired. Anyway, we are losing. Quite badly, in fact. I was very close to the previous match, but this time we're just not even in contention. Alright. We will at least absorb that. That's a comeback chance waiting to happen. If we can manage to get in position in time. There we go. That's guaranteed 2 right there. We just need 2 more in the next 25 seconds. And yeah, everybody just fouls everybody else in this game, so... This just came out today, by the way. This is actually our first sitting with this. But we did play the previous entry in the Mario Strikers series about 15 years ago. Mario Strikers Charged on the Wii. Whoops. Anyway, 18 seconds, let's make something happen. Need some magic here. It's probably not going to happen. Oh, star though. We can maybe pot one in. Nope. Well, we can pay the escalating price to get a return our way here. Maybe just one more. Then it's going to get out of hand. Yeah, after the next loss, we may as well just try it with a new squad. Definitely picking up a bit here, though, in hard mode. Alright, we do need to pick that up early and not feel too secure in the advantage. Yeah, extra typo, definitely need to give yourself a bit of a break after everything that you put yourself through, and in addition to the content that you've been doing on the Scrabble branded stream as well. That's been a lot of words for you. And so... Oh, we should get some rest. Whoop. Yeah, you have a good night as well. Thanks for bringing the raid once again. Always very happy to see you here. Okay. And that's the advantage gone already. Alright, let's try it again. Missing a lot of the combo passes here. Let's... Yeah, we really can't lose that much ball control. And can we get the strike orb? No, we can't. And once again, we're in trouble. Yeah, I believe it's 100 coins for each piece of gear, so the fact that we spent 300 already on... Oh, wow, no, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna be down 1-4 now. I haven't given up in opposing Hyper Strike in a long time. But this is gonna do it. Notice how all the strike animations, by the way, match the characters' gear as well as their team color, and so that transition to the hand-drawn style actually is something in-engine and dynamic, which is actually very delicately implemented. Whoops. I shouldn't have expended all the items right away. That was a bad idea. We're going to get absolutely clobbered here. Yeah. I think the lesson from all of this is that to compete in this difficulty level, we probably need to put together a real squad instead of just randomizing in, but because it's not going to be quite so easy. Alright. Okay. We're in trouble. Anyway, let's... So for anyone joining us recently, we're into hard mode of the solo championship cups in this game. It's 3 rounds of double elimination. Nope, that's going to be a miss. Thought I'd have a little more time there, but this is going to be the worst defeat to date. And so yeah, the match is just falling apart at this point. After having dominated everything in the regular difficulty, we are definitely seeing some humility. Whoops. But yeah, even up to this point, though, the rest of the hard mode cup was not that bad, and then here we're just getting wrecked. Alright. This is not going to happen. Let's see if we can at least score something else by the end. Point blank, too close. Not gonna reposition to keep it like that. Yeah, I haven't had a good position in a while. We've just been having some desperation plays here and there. Not really playing tactically anymore, ever. Falling apart in such a spectacular fashion. Whoops. Okay, strike orb. We need it. And we're not going to get it. Well, the worst of our defeats against this team is going to send a pretty clear message that we're just going to get run out of town here. Okay, let's run over everybody. And save at least a little bit of face here. Alright. Okay, not going to work here. Alright, that didn't go. Let's see what the price hike is like on the next rematch, because I think we probably won't pay the fee. It only takes 3 victories to get back up to this point anyway. And well, it's a shame to abandon ship this late in the bracket. I don't want to run myself completely out of cash. Yeah, it's going to go up to 400. We're not doing that. That's a couple pieces of gear that we could potentially acquire. Now, I don't know if I'll be staying long enough to run through another full cup on the hard mode, but what we can do is see if the network is back up for the multiplayer. And we'll eventually look at some of the gear, since we finally have some cash to work with. And oh, we have some unlockables as well, as you can see from the 300 level ones. So yeah, these are generally +2, -2, but there is one that kind of gives you passing +4. Let's not unlock these yet until I have some kind of strategy for that. I guess this must have been a reward for clearing the Championship Cup, that we can actually improve any stat by 4 at the expense of subtracting from the others. Obviously, it's not optimal to wear that in all slots, is it? Because you would... Oh, maybe it is, because you would just be subtracting... Let's see. So, there's no technique gear, is there? Or... Of these 5 selections. Got speed, strength, technique... Oh, yes, there is technique and passing. So if you were to don all 4 of these, you would boost a whole bunch of your stats, but it would be -4 to shooting. So you wouldn't want to do that with Mario necessarily, but if you have somebody who's really high up in the shooting stat, you could kind of rebalance them like that. Someone like Rosalina, for instance, who's kind of starting with 17 out of 25. Yoshi, perhaps, since Yoshi does have quite a bit going on that you can rebalance. Like you would take shooting down to 13, but you would boost everything else up to quite a high level. We'll have to work that out with time. The nice thing about Yoshi is that if you buy gear for him, you actually can use that in multiple slots, since Yoshi can occupy multiple slots just like Toad. For each of these characters, though, to pick up the Bushido gear, it's going to be 1,200 each. And likely there will be some additional unlockables when we get through the advanced cups as well. So I probably won't fool around with that too much right now. I'm going to maybe poke around with that afterwards. I want to do just a quick battle to see if the net works up. It was not when I checked earlier, but perhaps it'll be fine now. So let's go play anyone. And we're going to do 1v1 if we can, since we did plenty of 2v2 in the demo. And we'll just randomize the team again. We've got Darkest Axel coming up here. And yeah, Captain, gonna set the mode to auto, since we've been pretty comfortable with that. We're going to be on the right side. Put the squad over here. Look at Bowser's attire as well. Just haven't really noticed that. I wonder why Bowser is number 66. If there's any particular reason for that. Not quite the demonic 666, but okay, Cyclone, Scramble, Spikes, Bolts. Yeah, let's go Bolts. I'm fond of the baby blue for that. So let's see how we do against some stranger who may or may not be kitted out. And yeah, no gear on that side either, so we're going to be number 5 this time. And then... okay. Oh. Pacing actually feels slower for some reason after the frantic match that we had just now against the AI. Oh, that was a close call. Not a lot fouling yet, and thus not a lot of items on the field, but... oops. I say that, of course, just as I pick up a banana. I'll try to... get a shot in. I haven't played right to left in a while. I think that's what's partly throwing me off. Okay. We definitely want to get that. And then, likely my opponent will play for denial at this point. Okay. Oh, bad pass there. Nope. we finally pot one in? Nope. Yeah, amazing how different the movement feels playing against an actual human. I mean, that's expected, but certainly there's a bit of whiplash that comes with it, especially when you're changing your facing direction as well. Okay, we got to get into a center position to once again pick up the strike orb. I have some shells handy now, though, so. Okay. No, actually, no. The shells are on my opponent's side. I'm so accustomed to reading top left. We have a bomb available there, so didn't really get an opportunity to use it. Would have liked to use that to zone out my opponent earlier for purposes of getting the hyper strike down, but my opponent with the orb this time, but we'll pot one in, get one ahead, and we'll hopefully get something defensive going to wait out the hyper strike. Already managed to get one off. Okay, good. That's gonna be steal. We'll just try to run the timer. Whoa, nope. I'm gonna miss. Just kind of a bad character swap there. Let's get ready to spam the button, assuming that they didn't hit blue and blue. I didn't really see, to be honest, how my opponent was doing on the meter. I really, in fact, should have dumped a bomb on him. Okay. That's gonna be clear. Let's get some combo passes in for once. Okay. Then we should be able to wait this one out once again. Nice combo out of that bounce, and we are 2 up. I don't know if there's eventually going to be any kind of matchmaking to the quick matches. I feel like it is probably just a random on ranked mode, but I have no particular evidence either way. I'm sure that's something that people have figured out by now, though. Okay, let's get to Strike Orb, just to deny it. And then it's going to be a victory. Okay. Okay, so just 20 coins for random matches. I'll approve a rematch if my opponent does. I don't particularly have a strong opinion, but looks like we'll go for it. The score was close enough there that it's even worthwhile. Also playing against an opponent who has not geared up yet. Probably I'm going straight into versus instead of banking anything up from the campaign as I've been doing. I may actually try to gear up with that Yoshi super team that I had in mind earlier, though. Just have balanced stats all around. Might be something fun to try. Since we do have the Bushido piece ready to go. Anyway, that's one in. Getting a little more warmed up this time. On my side of the pitch. Nice dodge from that side. Haven't had any kind of dodge that good on my end all day. Okay. Toad doesn't really even have a good shooting statistic. I've just been well positioned from some of the item stuns. Oh, whoops. Awful positioning all around, but we made it. Ooh, weak shot there. A little bit frantic for combo purposes. Okay. Now, can we get the Strike Orb this time? Yes, we can. Probably a higher priority when we're up by 2. Not really in a good position to do anything with it yet, though. So. Nope, trying to dodge out of that to buy some room, and that just didn't work out. Okay. Toss it up front. So yeah, when you hit the shoot button from your own end, it basically works like a free pass. Is Toad going to pot one in again for a hat trick? Nope. Not going to happen. Oops. Yeah, a couple of bad dodges all around there, and that's going to be a very narrow shave. And at last, my opponent gets on the board. I was trying to go for the Strike Orb at the end there. That was maybe not the cleverest idea. Okay, let's see. Nope, good dodges all around. My opponent definitely has me beat at the dodging game. Then... whoops. Way out of position. I got a banana stiletto. I should keep that in mind. Uh-oh, that's not good news. But we will get out of there. Trying to cross it over to Peach, and it did not go. Alright, let's see if we can chase down the right character this time. Kind of a close call. Nope, missing the combo shots. Going for the Strike Orb, that's good. Nope, got punched out of that. Oh wow, nice bomb over there. Narrowly saving that from Bowser's rather deep run. Well, he's going to go for a desperation shot for sure. So we just need to zone him out, and that's going to be 2 in a row. And very low in possession there. I only had about 30%, but looks like my opponent also feels that these have been good matches so far, and I'm sure they're scrambling for a win. Okay, we're going to be at a bit of a speed disadvantage this time around. So naturally, we're going to be the bolts. At the speed of very sluggish ball lightning, apparently. Oh, but we're going to have Yoshi, Toad, and that I'd probably Also an all-random selection, if I were to guess. Okay. Oh, can I get that in? And after quite some effort, I'm just gonna get nuked there. Whoop. Okay. Nothing happening yet. Surely the shooting stat is going to help me here, and yes it is. As we get it. The icebreaker in from one of the two identical Yoshis. Now here's the thing. If you have multiple Yoshis or Toads on your squad, can you have some with gear and some without gear? You can only select this as a binary. You can't have multiple loadouts rather when you select them. But I might be interested to try that out to see what happens. Because that seems like the most cost-effective way to bulk up a little bit. Oh, whoops. Okay, managed to get that going. Do we have items? Yes, we do, which means... Oh, orange and orange is probably not going to hit. But we'll see. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And we'll get in position for a rebound, in case it happens. And then it'll be in. Yeah, there's some kind of probability calculation that happens with that, even if you do succeed in the button mash defense. Blue and blue is 100% in, but then there's a different percentage for each of the other color combinations, I think. Oh. Nice dodge once again. And we kicked the other Yoshi in the face, which was very unkind, but nobody said we were playing in a sportsman-like fashion here. Really good dodges all around. You have to give my opponent credit here. Definitely putting up a fight. Okay. Yeah, I'm sometimes switching characters much too rapidly for my own good. Whoops. Okay, let's get in position. Still not perfect here, but we'll see if this one hits. He's getting in a blue zone for half of that. Let's get in the rebound position. There we go. Just needed to rush into that and have my characters adequately placed. Oh, I do have a bomb as well. Yeah, that was an easy one for them. Okay. Yeah, not so good. Luckily, nothing a little item spam can't fix. Should have picked up the orb before I did that, but no, I'd rather combo that in for the points. Okay. actually had an opportunity to get out of bomb range that time, which, whoa, we're way open. Probably should have shelled that just for safety, but nobody said we were playing cleverly here. Okay, great. And that's a miss. Bowser's accuracy sometimes leaves something to be desired. Just longer curves. We have a comeback opportunity on that side now. We have to make sure he doesn't get an opportunity to charge. Just have to outlast it for the remaining 9 seconds. It's going to be a bit of a tough situation here, but we just need to retain possession, and that is a win. Okay, no more rematches from this guy after losing 3 straight. Now, I think we probably will call it for today's stream from here. Like I said, I was just getting some 1v1 in at the end there to see if we could fill a little bit of time, since I didn't want to restart a full cup battle, but we'll probably be streaming this a bit more so we can get on the record some victories in the hard mode cups, which I was really just 1 win away from completing, as we saw with the Cannon Club earlier. This Strikers Club feature we'll have to investigate properly here, because I might start one as a group for my stream that will just let people join at will. Unless, of course, I have another group that I want to party up with. And we'll have to figure out how that works, because I haven't had a chance to really even investigate this feature since the network was down at the very beginning of this session. But yeah, definitely we'll be doing the cups on stream, and possibly some more competition as well. So that's going to be it for today's stream. We will possibly be back tomorrow with this game, as well as Mario Maker viewer levels on a weekend on the usual schedule. So with that out of the way, let's scan around for a raid and pass you all on to somebody else, possibly in this game, possibly in Maker. We'll scan around and find out. So thanks for watching. This has been an exhilarating session where we got all of normal mode done pretty much in one go, only to be humbled in the end. We'll pass you on to somebody else very shortly, and stay tuned to find out who that is as I make that decision. But for now, have a good day or good night in whichever time zone you inhabit. See you next time, and as always, fare thee well.